Hey everybody and welcome back to Split Couch Games. It's been a while since I've said that, but I'm Scott.
And I'm Ben.
And this is Couch Cast number 73? Is what we decided it was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
73, something like that.
Yeah.
Like we said, it's been a while, so.
We got a lot to get to this episode. Turns out you're gone for almost 2 months and things happen.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about where we were and then we're going to talk about things that happened in the last 3 days and just completely skip anything that happened between then.
Yeah, and I just want to say for the record, at least for me, this is obviously a kind of a little bit of a different setup. So there may be some audio issues that'll need to get worked out eventually. So bear with us over the next few weeks as we figure that kind of stuff out, because I'm in a smaller room than I was before. So my voice may be bouncing more and that kind of thing. I honestly have no idea. And also, we have a dog who is 8 years old and is new to us. And he's kind of obese, and we're working on getting his weight down. So
You and obese animals.
he pants a lot. Yeah. So he may be in the background making noise. So, anyways, we can actually get to the real content of the video now. I just wanted everybody to know that if they hear like in the back, that's what that is.
Oh, right. Well, anyway, just really quick, for those who didn't watch my update video, which there were 5 people that watched it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Basically, Ben and his wife bought a house, and I bought a condo, and then we had to move. And if you've never bought a house, it's a lot of work.
It's a process.
Yeah. So we kind of, and we should have at least tweeted something out, but it just always slipped our minds and everything. Especially mine.
Yeah, and it kind of happened pretty fast for both of us, I think. Which, I mean, that's the market around here. It's something goes on the market, you have maybe 2 or 3 days, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I had this one of the places I looked at. I went to an open house. As I was driving to the open house, I got a call from my real estate agent saying that it was off the market.
Wow.
And I'm like, no.
How is that even fair?
Right. It was, So, but I think we both ended up with places that we're really happy with, and that's pretty much it. I mean, we were just busy with that and kind of brain dead from all that. And I know that you were going through a lot of stuff at work. So
yeah, I still am. I'm going to be forever, really. I don't expect that to ever change, but
yeah. So we're here though. We're back, and it's exciting. I mean, I missed these. No one.
Little powwows.
Yeah. No one I love arguing with more than you, Ben.
Oh, gee, thanks.
Anyway, so we're going to start off with what I think is probably the smallest story, but I think we could probably talk about it a little bit, is Shadow of War is getting rid of microtransactions.
Yeah.
I haven't looked too much into it. I don't know their reasoning. I'm pretty sure that it's just at this point, it's not making them any money. And I don't know if they're rebalancing the end game to adjust for that. Because that was the biggest thing, was that everyone was like, oh yeah, you can play 90% of the game without microtransactions, and it'll be a great experience. And then the last 10% is a huge grind.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be rebalancing it or anything either. When I heard this news, I kind of took note of it, and I was like, oh, well, that's good. Now I might actually go out and buy the game. Because for anybody that has maybe been following this channel for a while, when they announced, oh, we're going to have microtransactions, and these are what they are, and I was like, wow, that's really not a cool system that you're setting up, so I'm not going to buy the game.
Yeah.
And when I found that out, or when I found out that they were, taking them out and everything, and I think their reasoning was essentially that it breaks immersion and that kind of thing, knowing that like there are these higher level orcs that you can just buy. And
Yeah.
so their reasoning is stupid. Am I glad that they're doing it? Yes. And
Well, I mean, their reasoning for doing it though is because like microtransactions piss people off, and some sort of crap, I can't think of the word. Oversight from government agencies is going to be coming at some point. Like they're just kind of getting ahead of the curve, saying like, "Oh, we did this on our own because
Yeah.
we care about you, the gamers." I
well,
don't know.
not only that, but they're probably trying to make it so that they don't do what other game companies seem to be doing, which is where in the places that it is becoming illegal, like certain countries in Europe, they aren't doing like a, oh, well, those countries just don't have access to any of this stuff. Even if it is a core part of the game, like,
Yeah.
they just don't get it, whereas we're still going to use those practices elsewhere in the world.
Yeah.
I think they're just doing kind of what probably everybody should do, which is the same solution across the board. You know, whether or not you agree with the solution, whether or not you think, you know, maybe loot boxes are bad, but microtransactions themselves are good, you know, whatever, it doesn't matter. But I feel like
Yeah.
developers should make a blanket solution as opposed to, you know, picking and choosing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what other studios do. I know that EA is bringing or has brought microtransactions back to Battlefront 2, but they're only cosmetic.
Have
Right?
they? I don't know.
I think they've announced that they're doing it. I don't know if it's been done yet.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's right. Because Marcy and I played it on, you know, Star Wars Day, and they, like, their new progression system is kind of neat, but it still definitely allows for a little bit of steamrolling. You know, like, someone who's played the game a lot is going to do better than you no matter what, so...
Yeah.
But I mean, now it's not like, oh, well, he, you know, he bought those cards. I mean, that still
Yeah.
definitely is a possibility because, like, they didn't completely reset the system. Like, all of your
Yeah.
progress, if you will, carried over.
Yeah.
So any of the star cards that you had before, you have now. So for all I know, I'm still going up against people that paid for their quote unquote abilities. But
Well, I think that we know that, like, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you're never gonna know that for sure in that game. But,
yeah.
At least it seems more fair. So that's always good.
Yeah, very true.
All right, and let me actually pull up my notes here. All right, let's talk about Nintendo Cloud Saves.
Oh, and how you have to fucking pay for them?
Yeah, tell me about that because I forgot to look it up last night.
Well, so basically, as I'm sure you know, Nintendo is going to be launching a online gaming service or whatever later this year.
Wow, really pushing the edge of technology.
Right? So
Innovation.
It's joining the ranks of Xbox Live, PlayStation Plus, that kind of thing. I can't remember if what I am about to say was rumor and speculation or like early estimates or if it's the actual official number, but I feel like they said that it was only going to be like 10 or 15 bucks a year. So it's substantially cheaper than the other online services that are out there in terms of console. But the cloud saves are part of that service. So if you're not part of their like online service that is paid, then you do not get cloud saves. So you have this system that is literally built to be used on the go. So it's going to be definitely going to be more susceptible to damage and that kind of thing than any other home console out there.
Yeah.
And you don't have cloud saves as just a standard free available feature. I mean, like the fact that the system was released without that as an option to begin with, or even the ability to back it up to a USB thumb drive or something, is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Because even the Wii U had that as an option. Day one, if you had, or well, actually maybe not day one. I think it was like a few months after the initial launch of the Wii U. If you had a, a thumb drive or a portable hard drive or something, you could back up all your saves and start putting games on that external storage system, and that is not an option.
Yeah. One of my coworkers actually went through that where she was playing Breath of the Wild and her saves, or her saves just got corrupted.
Yeah.
And she couldn't get them back.
Yep.
And she was like 70% of the way through, I think.
Yeah.
She said. So, yeah. So the price is $20 for a year,
Okay.
or $3.99 a month if you don't.
Yeah.
Do that, and you can also do 3 months for $8. There's also a family plan that is $35 a year, $35 a year for 8 people.
That seems. Like that tells me that if I have it, like if my profile has it, that Marcy can't take advantage of the benefits, even though it's on the same console.
Sounds about right.
And I know that that's kind of how things used to be done, back on like OG Xbox and the 360 and, like the PlayStation 3, I guess.
Yeah.
But the fact that like there's no shared ownership is kind of shocking to me. I mean, substantially less so because, again, like that's how Xbox Live used to be and everything like that. But
well, I think that like you brought up the point that like it's meant to be like a very portable device. Like they want every person to have a Nintendo Switch, not every family to have a Nintendo Switch. So they would like
but it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know.
If we were talking about like Sony and a PS Vita or something, then yeah, sure. But this is Nintendo. Like their entire brand is about being like family friendly and everything like that, and having
that's
like
why you have
family
this, like,
and
$35
group oriented
year
content.
option.
So I shouldn't have to pay extra in order for someone else who is utilizing the same console to take advantage of those benefits.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
It's
I mean,
dumb.
that's how it is for Xbox Live like, right now, though. Like,
No, it's not.
yeah, it is.
No.
You like there's like sharing.
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm
But-
saying is like that should be like if Marcy didn't have Xbox Live, I could just check a box on my account settings saying that I'm willing to share my Xbox Live privileges with anyone else on that console. So she could go on, she could play games online, she could access the store, buy games, all that kind of stuff.
You can do that anyway.
Well, but I mean, like anything that's like Xbox Live Gold exclusive, she would be able to take
Interesting.
advantage of. And the same thing is there for PlayStation Plus on the PS4. And
Interesting.
and it sounds like that's not the case with Nintendo's online program now. And that's
But that all being
silly.
said, even if you do have to pay for 35 a month for the family membership,
35 a year, not a month.
35 a year, sorry. That is half of what Xbox Live costs.
Sure.
So like,
But I mean, they are also offering substantially less, so it better be. Because I mean,
True.
I can't even get Netflix on my Switch.
you don't want Netflix on your Switch.
Right. How silly of me.
Yeah, I don't know. And as for the cloud saves,
It should have been a standard feature. Like, I can understand maybe it being delayed, but it should not be tied to the online service. Unless you're going to go the route of, like, Xbox Live, where you have, like, the silver and the gold. And so, like, you just need to make an account and get it. And then they have, like, a free version of whatever their online service is.
yeah. I'm surprised that there's not like a initial offering of like, oh, you get like a gig of storage or something like that for free, and then you
everything
can,
beyond that, yeah.
I don't know.
They should have something. And
I mean, okay, so like I think that, like, I'm coming from a place where like you were like, you have to pay for cloud storage, and I was like, oh, okay, that's really weird. But now that I know that it's attached, like, it doesn't sound as bad to me.
but the point
Like,
remains
you-
that you still have to pay for it. There is
No,
no,
no, no,
way
no, no. I know.
to get it for
like,
free.
I get that, and like that sucks. Like, don't get me wrong, that absolutely sucks. But like, just it doesn't sound as bad as I had built it up in my head because of the way that you presented it to me, where you're like, you didn't say that there was like the online service. You were just like, you have to pay for cloud saves, and I was like, that sucks. But I'm like, really, you're paying for the whole service, and you're getting the cloud saves with it.
I guess I see where
I'm
you're
not,
coming
like,
from
I'm not
there.
as outraged as you are.
I see where you're coming from, I guess. You know, the context helps, but it's still dumb as shit.
I mean, it's not great.
Because when you think about it, the Xbox 360, about halfway through its generation, that's when it started making cloud saves available to everyone.
Yeah.
Like, literally everyone gets it for free. And I don't know about during the PlayStation 3 era, but once PS4 came out, Sony was the same way. Like, you know,
Yeah.
cloud storage. Granted, in my opinion, Sony has a little bit of an archaic model to it in the sense that it's similar to the 360 where you have to like manually tell it like, I want to do this one and that kind of thing.
Really? You have to do that?
Yeah, you like
Come on.
We're spoiled with the Xbox where it just automatically backs up everything for free. Like there's no limit, nothing. It just backs it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how it should be. Because it's not like
You have to keep in mind though that Nintendo is going to lag behind like 20 years in the online department.
but they shouldn't. That's what I
But I
don't
mean, like,
understand.
just like think about how crazy this is. It's 2018. They're finally having an online service.
Well, they've had one for years, but this is the first time you have to pay for it.
Well, okay. Let's be honest though. The online service has been not great.
And it's probably going to continue to be not great.
Absolutely. But so is like, I mean, like, this is kind of the first step, right? Like, remember when like PlayStation PlayStation Live? It wasn't live. Obviously.
PS Online, I think. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, like when it was free and it was absolute ass. Like,
I mean, sure. Yeah, I guess.
like that. like,
I never played with it because I mean I've been
it was bad.
Yeah.
Like that. Like, yeah. There's a reason why like multiplayer games were 100% better on Xbox Live is because like you could actually play the games.
yeah because
then they were
it
like-
turns out when you pay for a service you actually get your money's worth. You know.
Yeah. But now that like, you know, now that you pay for PlayStation Online, you have a decent service.
Sure.
Right.
I don't want to claim like I can speak to that because I don't play my PlayStation very much, and when I do, it's single player games. So
Yeah. From what I know, it's
better.
it's good.
Okay.
Like, it's a solid experience, and yeah. But yeah. Yeah, like I said, I like, it doesn't piss me off.
Yeah, because
But, like,
you built it up
it's
as
annoying.
like a separate thing that's like $5 a month and you get cloud storage or something probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay. But like, I mean, this, like, it's annoying. But it's like one of those things where it's like, if you care about that kind of thing, you're probably already paying for the online service anyway. Right? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Like,
I don't think so.
It's
Just-
dumb, but we disagree to the extent of how dumb it is.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm never gonna pay for the online service. I don't play games online on my Switch. I just don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like I bought my Switch for like Mario and Zelda and that kind of thing. Like nothing. I don't play Splatoon, and I'm not gonna be playing like Call of Duty on there or anything like that. So
What? You're not gonna play Call of Duty on the Switch? Is Call of Duty on the Switch?
so yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever.
Alright.
So one thing that I did want to talk about was the Walmart leak,
Hell yeah.
which
Fucking Gears of War 5, am I right?
right? When I saw that, I was like, well, Scott's gonna be excited.
Yeah, I mean, they leaked Gears of War 5, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, and
It's actually not that fantastic. But,
and realistically, like, obviously anything that like quote unquote leaks on the internet, you always have to be a little bit skeptical of, because
Yeah.
you never know. Like, oh well, maybe like they're just assuming that it's coming, so they're putting something up that way they can be ready. And then, you know,
Yeah.
obviously someone accidentally published it live instead of like saving as a draft or whatever.
oops.
Yeah, right. So it could have very well been that, especially for something like Gears of War 5. But I feel like the real validating factor in this leak is the way Bethesda's Rage Game Twitter account responded.
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, where they, you know, posted the screenshot and they had like corrections and everything. And now Bethesda Softworks has been like tweeting out all these like teaser images that people are going nuts over. Like
Yeah.
some people are like, "Oh no, they're only teasing Rage 2," which, you know, cuz the pink. But there are a bunch of other people like convinced that like it's a multifaceted tease where it's like some of them are for Rage 2 and others are like burying hints about like, you know, Starfield or whatever their next game is going to be and everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like that reaction is what makes that leak valid.
So I go back and forth on whether it's valid or not, because so like one, as for Gears of War 5, if you guys don't know, I'm a big Gears of War fan. So like I'm excited to see that name, but at the same time I'm like, it seems too soon. Like I kind of wanted a 3-year cycle for it as opposed to a 2-year. But I guess like if Halo's not ready, then they have to push out Gears. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, it very well could even just simply be, you know, it's like, oh, well, maybe it's getting announced, but it's still not coming out until 2019 or something. And
Yeah.
they're putting the box art and everything up just so people can start pre-ordering.
Yeah, I would hope for like earliest like a March 2019, but so everyone's like making a big deal about like the typo on Forza Horizon 5. Like they called it 5 when it should be 4.
Yeah.
So my two thoughts are, one, well, I mean, the person also like published it to the site, so they're not exactly the most careful people in the world. So it probably is just a typo.
Yeah.
And the other is like, on the other hand, this person just might not know what the fuck they're doing, and might have just like throw up some titles, and
Yeah.
like so I don't know. Like it could just be a complete accident. But like you said, like Bethesda's using it as kind of like a teasing thing. There's probably some validity to it.
Yeah.
And I obviously, like, when this usually happens, it's never with games that I really care about, so I don't really follow up on it. But like when Amazon does it, Walmart's done it in the past, I believe. Best Buy.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Yeah, and it's
And I mean-
usually accurate, right? Or like to an extent.
I believe so. I mean, most of the time in recent memory that this type of thing has happened, it's always been like, oh, well, this, like, you know, French website posted it, and it's for, like, some JRPG that I don't care about. And it's like, okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's- yeah.
like, so I don't have the greatest of memory when it comes to these types
that's
of
where
leaks,
I'm at, where I'm like, yeah, I know this happens,
but I don't
know
know
the
how
results.
like, I don't know how accurate they might be. Yeah.
but let me tell you, we're gonna find out if we hear more about Gears of War 5. Because I'm on that.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised to see that like Halo's not on there though. Like, assuming this is accurate, no Halo this year.
Yeah.
Again,
Which
not even announced.
yeah, and I mean that could be like kind of a multi-layered thing, because I mean there are some things on there that I was not expecting to hear anything about. Specifically, Rage 2, obviously. I don't think
Yeah.
anybody saw that coming. I didn't think there was going to be a Just Cause 4 announced, and like the fact that the Final Fantasy VII remake is on here, there, and Borderlands 3 and a new Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Considering Origins came out, it was last year that Origins came out, and Ubisoft had always kind of been pitching this as like they're taking a step back from the yearly cadence on that franchise. So the fact that a lot of those games are on there, like, kind of makes me wonder, like, how much of this is real versus how much of it is just them trying to be prepared of, hey, this might get announced, so we should just make sure that it's as ready as what we can make it.
Yeah.
And because I mean,
But at
like,
the same time, I'm pretty sure that like these like the developers and stuff send this out to Walmart well in advance so that they're ready to take pre-orders day one.
yeah, but I mean, the Final Fantasy VII remake is one that is specifically interesting to me, just simply because everything, like any bit of information that has come out of the studio that's making that, has been explicitly saying this is a ways off. So the fact that that's in there, and the fact that
Yeah,
all
that's
of
true.
these games are posted at $79 is a little strange to me
I think that's normal though. Like that's like
for just general placeholder stuff.
yeah. Like I
I've
think like
never seen
Amazon.
that
I think
before.
when Amazon does that, it's like $100.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I've never
Don't-
paid attention. I think you're right because the $100 thing does sound familiar to me. But like
Yeah.
79 as a placeholder just seems strange.
Well, Walmart's where you get cheap stuff. Okay.
Right. So their
Um,
placeholders are $20 cheaper.
But no, kind of speaking to your point about the Rage thing, the fact that the Division 2 shows up on the list is also because I think Ubisoft has announced that the Division 2 is coming.
Yeah,
So,
we
like,
we had a
that,
podcast about it like 2 months ago.
Yeah, we did. You're damn right we did. I remember. So
But
the
I mean,
fact that like there's at least a couple games that we know are coming.
yeah.
Like,
And I mean, like, obviously, like The Last of Us 2, it's already heavily been speculated that a new Splinter Cell is coming, and that was from a few other leaks and everything.
we had a podcast about that too.
And then,
No.
like the Super Smash Brothers on the Switch, that's already been teased by Nintendo.
Yeah.
So I mean, there are a lot of these that are like, there's good reason to expect that they would be there, but then there are some that are just kind of like, nobody was expecting to see this, like nobody's even heard of this before, and that kind of thing. I mean, like if we're going by this, then I mean we should expect to see more about Metroid Prime as well. But I mean, when Nintendo announced that at like last E3, like literally all it was like a logo tease, and that
Yeah.
was it. Which to me, in Nintendo speak, that means like 2019 at the earliest.
Yeah, I mean, because we can assume that Smash is coming out this year. What's their other big game that would be coming out this year? Because they're trying to do like quarterly releases.
I don't know. Hi, Betty.
Dougie.
Hi. He apparently just decided to stand up and everything now. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like obviously, like we're not gonna know anything until E3, which I want to plug that we're probably gonna do our live tweet again during the Xbox press conference.
yeah.
Yeah. So during the press conference for at least Microsoft, and then like we might try to do like PlayStation or whatever time depending, but we're obviously Xbox fanboys, so
Right.
we'll be there
clearly.
for the Xbox. 'Cause,
I-
boy, you're gonna.
I don't want to say that we're fanboys, but that's definitely our preferred system.
And I'm gonna be there watching and being like, "Oh, there's Rod Ferguson. He's gonna announce Gears 5." Anyway, so look out for that. June. I want to say June 9th, but it's gonna be around there.
Uh huh.
I don't know the actual time off the top of my head. But this kind of leads into the last thing I want to talk about was that Sony kind of revealed their plans for their possibly not a press conference. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
gets into the technicality of what E3 is now, which is
yeah,
since they've like reopened it to the public and everything, like it's not really press conference anymore. It's more of a presentation or a showcase or something because it's not just the press that's there. So,
yeah. But anyway,
but I mean, good for them.
basically, they said that they're going to be focusing on their 4 big games that are coming up:
Yeah.
Last of Us 2, Death Stranding, Spider-Man game, and the one that I can't think of.
I don't know. This was the thing that you
Detroit.
wanted
Detroit,
to...
right?
No, Detroit's already out, I thought.
Detroit's already out or coming out before E3. Boy.
All right. Well, anyways,
So
I'm
many
going to throw
people are
my
gonna
2
hate me.
cents in while you look up whatever the last game is. And my 2 cents are basically just like, I mean, good for them for announcing this. Not. Would you quit barking, please? Woof. Hey, Shaq, come here. Come here.
Oh, it's
He
the
doesn't
new Sucker Punch game, Ghost of
Oh,
Tsushima.
right. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's awesome that they are planning on talking about all that kind of stuff. But if they weren't going to be talking about all of those titles, I would have been shocked because
Yeah.
those are those are the kind of games that are selling the PlayStation right now, and I'm really looking forward to Death Stranding, which is really weird because I've never been a huge fan of Hideo Kojima games, but that's just because they're so weird. And
Yeah.
what? Do you want me to stop? Okay, well, it'll be done soon. I promise. Just don't turn off my Xbox with your tail. Anyways, you talk. I'm gonna mute
Okay.
my mic for a little bit so he's not whining in the mic.
All right. So the one thing that I'm thinking about right now is that like like you said, it's expected that they would be talking about those 4 games, and they've also mentioned that they are bringing out indie developers and third-party stuff and all that, as you would expect. And I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a surprise announcement from them. But my thought here is like these are games that we knew were coming,
Yeah.
and so like if Microsoft wanted to make a splash in like first-party exclusives, now's the time. Like if they were like, bam, we're coming out with one like right now, and then like one in September, and then one in November, and then
Yeah.
one in February, and then April, and like just like lay this out like bam, 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 that'd be great.
Yeah.
Because we also know that like they've confirmed that they're not going to be Sony's not going to announce any new hardware as well.
Yeah. They
Like,
did
it's
confirm
just
that.
it's just these games. So it's, like, not that these games aren't amazing, but in terms of like new stuff, it's fairly lackluster for Sony. And if
I mean,
like,
I'm
this is
sure
kinda-
I'm sure they're gonna sprinkle in some like indie and third party stuff.
yeah, like
I
I mean, there's like it's going to be a good show for them.
Yeah.
Just because like these are good games and like they have some other stuff as well. It's not just these games.
Yeah.
But in terms of it's a chance for Microsoft to catch up if they planned it out well,
Yeah.
right? And I think I'm hopeful that like that happens, and then like Microsoft is like, hey, look at these games that are not coming out in 2020 and are coming out soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like-
That'll be the key. Is
Yeah.
timing on that, because I mean, honestly, like if Microsoft comes out and they're like, oh, we're making Fable 4, but it doesn't come out for 3 years, then nobody's gonna care. And if they go like,
Yeah.
oh, Crackdown 3 is coming in 2 years or something, then again, no one's gonna care, especially
Yeah.
because Crackdown 3 specifically should have come out like 2 years ago. But you know,
Yeah, something like that.
yeah.
But man, if they drop like Gears of War 5 beta, ooh,
Yeah. I mean, maybe for you and like a small niche of other people, but yeah.
yeah, but ooh,
Yeah.
take a week off of work. No, but yeah, no, I mean, I like that's kind of just all I want to say about that is like, you kind of like you have Nintendo, which like I mentioned earlier is like basically like once a quarter they drop a big game,
Yeah.
or like a kind of like tentpole game. Sony's basically doing that. I don't know if it's exactly quarterly, but it's at least like 3 a year, two or three a year.
Something like that, yeah.
Microsoft doesn't really do that.
Well,
and like
they don't. I think Cuphead was their last exclusive, and even that was again like one of those exclusive asterisks kind of games.
I mean, State of Decay is out now, right?
I thought it came out next week or in like 2 weeks or
Okay.
something.
Yeah. Oh, they've had,
Well, and they've
one
had
since
Sea of
then.
Thieves, yeah.
Sea of Thieves.
Which I mean, again, that's like another one of those like asterisks kind of things because it comes out on PC, so does that really count?
Well, I mean, all their games come out on PC.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
Technically.
like that's the point. Is like there are a lot of people that don't consider it an exclusive at that point because you're not
Well,
giving.
then they just okay. Well, you have to. I think we have to say that they're exclusives because otherwise, then they literally have zero exclusives. Because
Well, yeah,
every game that comes out
it-
that they publish on the Xbox comes out for Windows 10.
yeah, and I mean that's kind
So,
of
like-
a lot of the problem that people have had with the.
No, that's
Play
not at all what
Anywhere.
the problem. The problem is that
No,
they're
I'm saying that like perceptually, a lot of people don't find that appealing. It's great for us as consumers, especially for someone
Sure.
like you who has a gaming PC and an Xbox. But I
Yeah.
mean, like for someone like me, I don't super care because like I don't have the gaming PC. But like if I were a different person and I had a PlayStation 4 that was my primary console, and I had a gaming PC, Microsoft isn't giving me any reason to buy an Xbox. And that's their
Sure.
problem. Is like there's already this massive divide in terms of the console sales, so anybody that has
Yeah.
a PC that can run these games is not being incentivized to purchase an Xbox. So
okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah.
I got you. I don't know, man.
yeah, I mean it's whatever.
Microsoft's
I
just
don't
gotta
really care.
figure-
Just
Microsoft just needs to announce some stuff.
they really do.
Like they need to go hard, and they can't have like this like launch exclusive bullshit.
Yeah,
That was
where
the
it's
most
like
annoying
for
thing to,
5
like-
months or whatever.
Yeah, they're like, and like they have the guy with the epic voice going launch exclusive,
Yeah,
and it's like, no one cares.
yeah.
Like that's not an exclusivity. That's like, we spent $1 million and now we get to say this.
Yeah, now we get to say it because our people get it a month earlier. Like,
Woo!
yeah.
We get it one day early. Yeah.
Anyways, we should wrap this up.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we're happy to be back, and yeah, let us know your guys' thoughts on any of what we talked about.
For show.
And yeah, we'll see you guys next time on Split Couch Games.
Bye.
Bye.